Okay, big news here, guys. So I'm trying some store choice, which is honorably the best Igor I've tasted from my experience of tasting Igor this month. And I had to go to work today with my moped, and it happened to be a bad day. And I'll show you why. Someone deflated my tire at 20 psi, and they unhinged my bolt on my kickstand. Now you might think I'm crazy, like, hey, I'm seeing things. No, they were doing this in 2013, and I stopped them by taping the tube with some electrical tape. That got me in trouble at work. Well, I caught the tire and I inflated it back to 40 psi, but they did that that's because they did that like 3 times so far. As for the bolt on the kickstand, I did not catch that, and my moped fell over twice while at work. I know they did this because I personally tweaked my kickstand so the bolt would be stiff, so it wouldn't happen. Like, I had 3 mopeds in the past. I'm not an idiot. So I have 2 assailants who are doing this. Tuan, the Vietnamese guy who comes over and whose father died recently. He was caught, tampering my computer. He knows where I live. He could have been doing this for years. It scratched up the side by that guard. I had a little guard, so it didn't, damage the side. It was just scratched up. The other fucker who could have done this is Igor. Igor Olympia. Like, just the other day, he kept putting the heater on to blast my cell phone so it would burn out. And Tuan, we caught him red-handed, installing Firefox. I mean, I keep telling him not to install it, and he installs it. And he does it secretively. That means he installs parts of it over a period so he doesn't get caught. I say Tuan because he knows where I live. Those doors are always open. You can just sneak in and do something strange. Or 3, we have a third assailant, and that's an evil fucking spirit. Now, for some odd reason, because I'm over the age of 5 years old, the evil spirit thing doesn't knock on wood for me. I mean, this is my main vehicle for work, right? You destroy it, I can't work. I mean, I'm not going to Uber bike in Northern Virginia, for fuck's sake. I'm not going to Uber bike to the next town, okay? Anyways, a moped fell over twice. And imagine if there was food in there. Luckily, there was not. Then I would have been screwed royally. Like, the order would have been fucked up. That's my delivery bag I use. It's just it has insulation in it to keep the food warm. That's my main income. So I had to end the trip early and go home early with $30 or so. But, whoever did this, it could be, someone in the neighborhood, but it's someone who needs a kick in the face, I mean, if they hate me so much, why don't they actually throw a punch? I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm just gonna fucking punch back and try to kill you. I don't call cops. I'm not a coward. Anyways, this is a video hoping that the assailant comes forward. Because he's been doing this for years. Yeah, I have two figures because, one, Igor's home in 2013 when it happens over and over again. Two, Tuan was caught sabotaging my, like he was red-handed, caught sabotaging my computer and admitting it. Even though I have some sympathy for his dad dying recently. I mean, that's a fucked up thing to do. I mean, my mom was in California in 2013. And I swear to God, you just have to try and fight me. You don't do deception with me, get it? It's like a machine. You either win or you lose when you physically fight me. When you reveal yourself. And you say, I was there doing this, and I was there doing that to you, and I messed up that, And what's good about Uber Eats with the gas moped is it's like a workout. It's like a cardiovascular workout. You get very it's like you get very tired. While when you're in a car, you're like, man, I could work for 4 more hours. On a moped, you're like, oh, I'm already tired because the thing gyrates, and it's like an exercise machine. Man, I still can't figure it out. Like, why would that thing from like 2013 come back? Like, I'm old, man. You gotta give up. You know how I stopped that prick from deflating my tires in 2013? Like, he was deflating my bike tires. He was deflating my electric scooter tires. I didn't have a gas scooter then, but those were the things he was deflating. How did I get this prick in 2013? It's very simple. I put tape over my freaking tire tubes. He can't remove the tape. If he removes the tape, he's gonna have to get it and place it back in the way that it was removed. It would be like a little workout for this 20-second operation of sabotage every fucking time. Now you might not notice, but we could have an evil spirit. My dead brother could be doing it and tricking my mind. Hence, he was a Scorpio, and he died in Leo, and he was, in fact, really into motorcycles. So I could see anything that resembles a motorcycle is is tampered with in reality. But that's going way too far. Like, I just can't help but not be a 5-year-old child. I can't help but not physically, retardingly accept that. That's like accepting Jesus Christ, for turning water into wine. It's like, oh, this can happen all the time. We can always turn water into wine. That's our human power. Except humans don't have powers. And they don't stick. And I'm hoping I can get this guy someday. Like some way. Star a choice. This is my first one. Uh, it's it's actually it's a beer that is for the rich. Basically, it's a good beer. But come on, man. Is Tuan actually going to win a lottery ticket? Um, is Kazuza gonna come back to life? No. Kazuza is also a Scorpio. But I do believe in the Zodiac, not for a childish thing, but for a reason that everything can be infinite. It's not a childish like satanic thing. Everything is infinite. Like everything doesn't end. So why can't 12 gods not end? Why do 12 gods have to end all of a sudden? For one god. Why do we have to accept one god and the lotus if we can't fully define the lotus? We can define it like a fish spark, like a fish can define it. So why do we have to accept this one god? I mean, sure we do if he comes forward, but he'll never come forward. He'll never accept us, so we don't have to accept him. If we let him be, he'll let us be. It's that simple. We don't have to progress because we can't, evolutionarily speaking. If we're dumb as monkeys, we can't progress. We can't develop that UFO that has an atomic structure that will never age in time and will go through space. Everything that we develop breaks down. Anyways, uber pissed today, but relaxing now because it's been a hard day. Like I was all over Herndon. Um, I almost messed up 2 orders. And my moped's already breaking down. Like it's a few months old, and it's not breaking down, but aesthetically it looks like it's been scratched up. Like I used it for a year. Um, so when it tips, the gas doesn't go into the engine floods. So what you have to do to get a start is you have to use starter liquid, starter fuel in the air intake in case the carburetor uh, floods the engine. And what's good is you put it in because the gradients are very strange. So I was surprised I tipped it. That's my old weed from like 2 years ago. It still has weed in there. But I like something more accessible. You know, it's weed's just blatantly not accessible. Like live streaming on YouTube was accessible. That was pretty cool. Um, I could have done some more runs, but my mirror was all fucked up, and therefore I could not do more runs. And it did scratch up the side of the moped that was literally bought in August. And all that for what, $30? Usually I can do a good run. You know, if I check it well enough, I can do $40 on a moped. It's like breaking your cell phone, but you're breaking something bigger and more expensive than a cell phone. But I'm not gonna lie, this 6S in 2014 was more expensive than my moped, so I don't actually care. For instance, my ERV looks like shit, and it is shit. It's trash. But it's an experiment that's really low key. That means your Tesla doesn't go forever, but that trash does. It's a simple, low key understanding of surge circuits. Now, will I use my electromagnetic 1 HP moped? That's like literally 2 times like slower than my actual moped. No, I won't. 1 horsepower. I didn't get to you know, go. I didn't get to search for metal in the ground this week because I was so busy with work. Like I decided to start Uber recently after a hiatus of 3 months or so. And I didn't get to start it, but what I did do today is change my ink on my printer. You know, you can literally change ink on a printer for $5. You don't have to buy a $40 cartridge. I mean, this was a mistake because I got one of those ink sets back in the day when I was working on Amazon. I got one of those ink sets that, you know, where you inject the ink through the ink head instead of through a needle. And, you know, chaos ensued. It did work, but it was really messy. And it was a bad idea to put a spongy that squeezes ink through the ink head. You're gonna get ink everywhere, you retard. That's one of those bad ideas. That's a really bad idea, basically. You do get a little ink in your shitty ink cartridge, but a needle. And then I bought the needle, the heroin needle. Hey Herndon with their parks and recreation. I bought the needle, and that worked just fine. This beer is really good because it's really foamy. How the fuck are you gonna make a magic trick against the soul? Like, let's get real here. To create magic against the soul. Or that's something a 5-year-old would think about. And proof my ink works. See. So that needle method is definitely preferred over this spongy method. Like I got it everywhere. This is actually my beer coaster. Like this was coasters for beers. Because my mom took my coasters. If my mom wasn't like alive or whatever, she would have never taken the coasters. I would still have coasters, get it? I would still work and earn money without your existence. Without your friendship. You see this? If I never brought this to the pool, it would never be damaged. I wouldn't have to repaint it. Can I do that? Can I solve that? No, I can't solve it. Because 5-year-olds are better than me, basically. Now that I think about it, if you were 5, you'd be better than me for solving that without, it. But, will you change anything? No. Nothing ever changes. Anyways, I'm not really good with GPS, and I do get confused. Like, I pulled into an invisible neighborhood that's off the grid, and bravo for them for being off the grid. So I pulled into their neighborhood instead of the apartment complex. And our neighborhood is blocked off with cones, totally paved, everything's like clean, everything looks brand new. And they're not on the grid, so they don't show up on Google Maps, they don't show up anywhere. Like as if they have some privilege. But, that's the neighborhood I pulled up on. And bravo for having privilege, Bravo Diadia for accepting the Cancerian Christ. Bravo, the Leo sign, which we are in. If we're not in the Leo sign, then I don't know my astrology, basically. Is that my address? Oops. Basically, I don't agree with actions. Yeah. If actions have to be taken, they can be, and they should be. But like all your ghosts, they can be and they should be, but all your ghosts are bullshit. November 19th. Yeah, see? We're on the Leo sign right now. Oh no, wait, we're in the Virgo sign. I'm sorry. We're in the Virgo sign. Alright. I'm so sorry about that.